Hello everyone and welcome to another training video. So today we're going to see how to lift off into a harbor and then set the helicopter back down to the ground. So that's all we're going to learn today. But first thing, I know it's a little bit complicated, especially for a beginner. So if you are struggling, don't worry. As long as you can just lift off and maintain the harbor, even if it's not a perfect harbor, if you can do it just for 2 seconds, this will allow you then to take off, and then you can learn the air exercises like climbs, turns, level flight, and so on. And then little by little you can work on your lift off, you can work on your hovering, and you can work on your setting back of the helicopter to the ground. So as you've noticed, I have a manifold pressure displayed here. Why is it important? Is because you can't just lift the collective the way you want. So based on today's condition, we're limited at 21.5. But for takeoff for 5 minutes, we can add an additional 0.9 inches, which will give us 22.4. So ideally, you want to be below 21.5, ideally. But if you are around 21.5, still okay. But you should definitely not exceed 22.4 for 5 minutes. This is what we call a power check. So once you are in a harbor, you check how much manifold pressure you are pulling, and this will tell you if you are pulling too much or if your manifold pressure is low enough to consider carrying on with the flight. So as already stated, we are going to limit ourselves to 21.5 ideally, but not exceed 22.4. Now to pick up the helicopter, you will of course need to raise the collective. And as we saw in the previous video, when you raise the collective, the helicopter will tend to yaw to the right. Okay, and we will counter this using left pedal. But also the helicopter will tend to move to the right, so we will counter this with left cyclic and maybe a little bit of aft cyclic, depending on what the helicopter wants to do. Here, since we are with a headwind, maybe we must left and forward cyclic. It all depends on what the helicopter is doing, and you react accordingly. So you do it progressively. You lift the collective, you monitor your manifold pressure, you don't look right in front of the helicopter but a little bit ahead like this, and once you feel that the helicopter is moving, if it's a yaw, you correct the yaw with the pedal. If it's a movement of the helicopter itself, you correct it with the cycling. And once you are light on the skid, you kind of progressively keep raising the collective, and once you are off the ground, you stop pulling the collective. And then you do a power check. For ease, I have displayed this here, and you will see how much inches of mercury you are pulling. Now there are other things to do during a power check, but for today we will just limit the power check to checking how much power, that is how much inches of mercury we are pulling. I will now lift off into a harbor, maintain the harbor for a few seconds, more than what I will usually do for a takeoff, just for the purpose of this video, and do my power check. Like I said, I will limit it to only checking the manifold pressure today, and then put the helicopter back down on the ground. So I'm raising the collective. I anticipate left pedal when the helicopter will yaw to the right, and also a little bit of left cyclic. And when the helicopter is moving, I stop input on the collective, correct the movement, and then get back on the collective. And once I'm in a harbor, of course, I stop any input on the collective, do my power check. This is going to be my harbor power. So slowly and gradually input on the collective. Slowly, as you can see, my view is outside, but I'm just keeping an eye on the manifold pressure gauge to know how much pressure I'm pulling, correct any movement. Now I maintain my position using the cyclic and maintain my heading using the pedal, and I'm pulling 21.1 inches of mercury, which is good. Maintain the harbor. And now to put the helicopter back down, gradually, slowly but gradually lower the collective. There you go, until I'm back down on the ground. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in another training video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.